To make sense of it all, we're joined by our own Philip Turle. Philip, in the build-up to these regional elections, we seem to have a foreshadowing of what's to come. The 24-hour news channels filled with stories about insecurity, crime, and how it's going to be all about identity politics. And then on the day, the identity politics party underperforms. What happened?
Well, I think that this election has opened up a door to contradict what has been commonly accepted in France as that next year we are moving towards another duel between Marine Le Pen of the National Rally on one side and Emmanuel Macron of La République En Marche, the Republic on the Move party, on the other. Because if you look at the results of these elections, there's no change in the makeup of the regions of France. The socialist and left-back regions went back to the same candidates, as did the right-wing controlled regions of France. There's been no shift. And the big disappointment...
So what you're saying is the French don't want change.
Well, it's not only the French don't want change. The French didn't even take part in these elections, really, because only 35% of people turn out to vote. And there was a huge amount of jostling amongst politicians over the past 7 days saying, go out to vote. We really need you to go out and vote to help us win these elections, be it on the side of Marine Le Pen or on the side of Emmanuel Macron or the traditional right and the traditional left. Well, it didn't work. People didn't turn out any more yesterday, Sunday, than they did Sunday last week. So there is a big problem about democracy in France and the willingness of the public to turn out and vote. And the question that I think a lot of politicians need to ask themselves now is, why are the public not turning out to vote for us? What is it they are disappointed by? Are they resigned to the fact that nothing's going to change for them if they vote in elections, so there's no point in going out to vote? Or is there some other reason? And what does this mean about what's going to happen next year in the presidential election?
Are we making too much of it? Because after all...
No, I don't think we are.
French citizens are smart. They know that we're in a very top-down country. It's a bit very different from most of its European neighbors in that it's not really a parliamentary system. The president has outsized powers. They know that the big election's next year.
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand what these local elections are for and exactly what they are going to do when people are elected. There's a lot of confusion, and it hasn't been helped by the politicians themselves and the alliances between right and centre-right and the left and the far left and the ecologists all getting together to try to work out some kind of way to move forward, and the barrage, if you like, against the national rally of Marine Le Pen, the so-called Republican front, to stop her from winning. So a lot of people are a bit confused about really what they're voting for. When it's a presidential election, it's much more clear because it's a battle between several candidates for one person to run the country at the end of the day. So that always means much more of a turnout. The thing here, Francois, is that what we see is the two candidates who have been listed, Marine Le Pen, Emmanuel Macron, Emmanuel Macron, Marine Le Pen, Marine Le Pen, Emmanuel Macron. We've been told for the last 4 years that they're going to be meeting in a runoff next year in the presidential elections. Both of those parties did extremely badly yesterday in the local elections in France. So what does that mean about the presidential election next year? It means that there is maybe a return towards the more traditional parties, and I think that is worrying for both, but much more worrying for Marine Le Pen, because her ability to provoke, to be the party of rebels, to be the party which comes out with more extreme views, seems to be losing steam. And I think she needs to ask herself some very serious questions before she's going to put herself forward for candidate of the National Rally next year, which is something she's certainly going to do. She's already made that clear.
And we will certainly be asking some very serious questions to our panel in the France 24 debate that's coming up in a little over 30 minutes' time. Philip Turle, many thanks for that.